Hey everyone, thank you for joining me as I break down the good and the bad of Dota Dragonblood Book 3, now streaming on Netflix. I'm not going to go real deep into it like I usually do when I break down the good and the bad because this season is spoilerific. So many things that can be spoiled, and I think if you are a fan of this series and you haven't watched it yet, you should go in blind. And if you are not a fan of this series or just like heard about it and thinking about getting into it, and you just want to know, or you've seen season 2 and want to know what season 3 is about, I think you should definitely go in as blind as you can. So I'm going to just talk about how it made me feel and certain aspects of it, just to praise certain aspects of the show and talk about some of the shortcomings. So let's start with the premise. Our heroes finally take the battle to Terrorblade. Davion, Fenrir, Marana, and everybody, this whole supporting cast, go to the moon to have one final face-off with the demon. And it's an epic, crazy-looking showdown when something unexpected happens and we get into some weird time adventure that we go on where all the heroes and villains and antagonists meet their demons and have to face a lot of different things that change their lives forever. Let's talk about the good. The character arcs that this show started off in book 1 come to full fruition in this season, and it made me really happy that I put this much investment in it and it's starting to pay off. The way this season was attacking these characters and the way they are and why they do these things and some of the things that they think is right made me feel like this was a final season almost. Everything started getting fleshed out in a way that I did not expect. And Marana was a character that was a big focus of this season, and she got put through the ringer. All the characters go through some emotional twists, and characters new and old get to shine and go through some grueling tasks as this adventure becomes bigger and bigger than ever before. While our favorite characters are going through these emotional journeys, the story is getting bigger and bigger, and it becomes universal stakes, like crazy big stakes that we have to face while we're still telling these personal stories at the same time, which pulls at your heartstrings, especially if you're invested in the world building and the characters, and can get you definitely more emotional than any other season has. This is backed by Studio Mir's fantastic animation and fight choreography. These are some of the best action in the show, and it's elevated because a lot of the characters are now on the same playing field. Davion is awesome. Marana is a god level now. Fenrir god level now, and a bunch of the other characters that have always been cool are kind of getting up to that same level, so they're all be able to fight and do things that are super dope. And I thought that the action was really well thought out and well visualized, but plus that, just the spectacle of it all was some of the most beautiful animation I've seen in a long time, especially in this art style. I thought book 1 was really good and a great start that got me very interested in this series. Book 2 took a little bit of dip in quality because of the pacing, but I think book 3 bounces back and builds on the groundwork that book 2 built, and also all the story threads that we got from book 1. Things from book 1 return back in book 3 and pay off, and a lot of the storylines, all the lore and everything tied together as this epic finale comes together and gives a very satisfying ending to a season. Let's talk about the bad. I didn't realize until watching this season, the show's pacing is very weird. Sometimes it feels like it's moving so fast, like it has somewhere to go, and then sometimes it slows down, like there's nowhere to go. There's no time ticking clock. And I think part of the problem is because this show needed more time each episode to flesh things out and let us see certain things. Their episodes are 20-25 minutes, and I think it would have did good, or maybe even an extra 10 or 20 minutes to really let us see more of the battles, more of the personal connections, more of what is going on in the world and how it's affecting everyone. The story really focuses on our main characters and doesn't really get to spread out as much as it did to show us like the villagers in the Night Woods and people in the kingdom and things like that. Those things kind of get cut short as we just focus on the emotional journey. And I felt like if the show had a little bit more time each episode, we would have gotten those things where it made things feel a little bit more heavy. It feels like certain action scenes, some really cool action scenes, we get teased and gets cut short, and then some character moments feel like they're a little bit rushed I just wish the episodes were just a little bit longer so that the execution of what they're trying to tell in the story was done a little better. I think Dota Dragonblood is one of the most underrated anime shows that we've had in a long time. It mixes in dark themes with whimsical charm and very lovable characters with epic story and very exciting lore. I think that this season really knocked out of the park with touching on all those things. I smiled, I almost came to tears, I got excited and I laughed. And it was a roller coaster of emotions because I was invested in these characters from the beginning. And I'm excited to see if they can pull off a book 4. It felt like if it does get canceled, that this book 3 I felt gave a satisfying conclusion. But the writers and directors said that they have so much more story to tell, and I'm willing to see it because of how well they tell the story in this series. So with that said, I'm going to give this book a B. For those who saw Dota Dragonblood Book 3, did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? And if you didn't see it, if you're excited to get into it, comment your thoughts down below as well. Like the video if you like my review. Hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Help me, grow the channel. And hit the notification bell so you can be notified of my reviews, reactions, and more. And you can watch more of my content right now.